Hey everyone, my name is Sarah and welcome to my channel Let's Homeschool Together. I am the mom to three wonderful kids ages 6, 4, and a baby. Today I will be sharing with you why my husband and I have decided to homeschool our kids for this following school year. So as y'all know, we're living in the middle of this pandemic and I think it's on all parents' minds what going back to school in August is going to look like. Many schools have been closed since early March in efforts to reduce the spread of COVID-19. This was probably an abrupt change to many families, but at the same time, it gave families a little taste of what homeschool can be like. In our family, for example, our oldest daughter was enrolled in school. And then suddenly the school closed and quarantine started and we had to be at home all day but still continue her education at home. And now after 3 months of distance learning, we have decided that it is best for our family to start homeschooling. We didn't necessarily have a bad experience with our daughter's school. In fact, we could tell that her teacher was putting in her best effort to continue her classes daily via Zoom. And from what I've heard, this was not the case for many other families. I've heard from other families that there was either a lack of communication between the school and the students, or that maybe too much work was given out and parents couldn't help the kids because they were busy doing work from home, or even that there wasn't enough assignments and the students haven't been learning any new material since March. Basically, this big change was different for everyone. And luckily for us, our daughter's teacher was always in constant communication with the parents to make this transition as smooth as possible for the kids. So our choice to homeschool doesn't come from having any bad experience with neither our daughter's teacher or her school. However, all this happened while our daughter was still enrolled in kindergarten. And even though there were daily class meetings, we soon realized that this distance learning method wasn't the best way to go. I think that in the earlier years, like kindergarten or preschool, going to school is more about playing with the little friends and learning through play. The worksheets and classwork are also important, but at this age, going to school is more about just playing and making friends. So at the beginning of distance learning, it was exciting for our daughter because it was something new. But as days passed, logging in at a certain time and doing a page from their workbook was something that she was losing interest in, mainly because it lacked the factor of seeing her teacher and classmates physically. My daughter enjoyed working more on her assignments with me rather than logging in. We did have to keep logging in though, however, because the school was keeping track of daily attendance and not logging in meant an absence for her. But after her class session had ended, we continued on our own, whether it was reading or making our own activities. So since I was working with my daughter, my middle son would also come to me and ask if he could also do some homework. So I'd create these little assignments for him to do, and it was really exciting for me to see his interest in wanting to learn. My son was 3 at the time and he has not attended any type of school. This fall would have actually been his first time enrolled in any type of school. I wasn't expecting for my son to come and ask to do homework as well, but this just shows me that he is ready for guided learning and that it is my job to provide that for him. So for May and June, we were kind of homeschooling, even though we didn't have any intentions at the beginning. The way that things happened just kind of led us that path. Now that we are past June and the school year has officially ended, we have to think about the next school year, which is just around the corner. The pandemic is still going and none of us really have any idea of how or when it will all be over. Us as parents know that this school year will definitely be different from past school years. From what I've read so far, schools will probably continue distance learning in the fall, and this also depends on where you live and what laws are put in place in your county or state. It also seems like when a campus does go ahead and decide to reopen, students will more than likely have to wear their masks and keep social distance as safety measures. I've also read about a hybrid option where a group of students can attend school 2 days a week and then alternate with another group who will attend another 2 days from the week. So it all depends on where you live and what your state laws are. Anyway, none of these scenarios is something we want to have our kids go through. I definitely don't want my 4 and 6-year-old kids to wear a mask all day. So for this fall, my daughter will be entering the 1st grade and my middle son was supposed to start pre-kinder or TK, which we call around here, and that stands for transitional kindergarten. Basically any 4-year-old child. Distance learning is just not for us because of our children's ages. Maybe it works for other people, but it just doesn't work for us. Also, I recently had a baby who just woke up. Having my 3rd baby reminds me of when my older 2 kids were babies as well. And even though it sounds very cliche, they really do grow up so fast. During the time that my daughter was at school, I would miss her so much, but that's because I thought that she had to be somewhere away in order to learn and that it was for the best. but that's because I had never really thought of the idea of homeschool. It is something that I had heard about, but I had never taken the time to research and learn what homeschool was really about. It's a whole learning experience for the entire family, and I'm really looking forward to becoming my kids' teacher. I'm really looking forward to teaching them to read and do math and do science projects together and just really build upon that love for learning that I already see in my kids. We are very excited to dive into homeschool, which is completely new to us and not something we had planned on, but definitely something we want to try. So if this is also your first time homeschooling, I invite you to join us and subscribe to my channel so we can take this journey together. I plan on uploading weekly videos documenting and sharing with you our homeschool. Remember that I'm also completely new to this, so if you have any suggestions, feel free to comment below. I will also share any resources that I come across that I find helpful and maybe can be helpful to you as well. So if this is your first time homeschooling or you're still thinking about it, subscribe to my channel so that we can do this together. So from our family to yours, welcome to our channel and let's homeschool together.